Donald Trump is doing a rally tonight in Madison Square Garden. Now, supposedly, it's sold out with 17,000 people. And we'll see if that's actually the case. We know how Donald Trump's rallies are. They claim one number, and it's not, it's overinflated. He has rallies where he has maybe a couple thousand people, where that's like the max that the venue could even hold. And he says, I had 50,000 people there. So who knows what the real number is going to be. And we also know that he's not keeping people at his rallies. They're leaving early. I think it was one of his rallies yesterday. He was mid-talking, and you can see from when he started to when he finished, like half the crowd was just gone. They went home early. You had Michigan where he was 3 hours late, and people didn't even stick around to listen to him talk. They went home. So we'll see how this rally goes in New York. But why is he going to New York? Well, he's going because he knows New York City. He thinks they love him. They really don't. There's some pockets that love Donald Trump, but they don't like him. But he thinks New York likes him. He knows he can draw a big crowd, bigger than what he can get in a swing state. And he thinks that's going to have some kind of an effect. One, it's going to boost his ego. But two, he thinks that's going to have some kind of effect on his claims later on when he loses the election, that, oh, look at the rally I drew in Madison Square Garden. How could I lose this election? Beyond that, he thinks he could actually win New York. Now, no Republican has won a statewide election in the state of New York since 2002, and the last presidential candidate to win New York was Reagan. So Donald Trump really doesn't have a chance of winning statewide in New York. But he thinks he does, probably with the same logic that he used in California, saying, well, if they count the votes right, I win. Okay. Well, that's not true. He's not going to win New York. Now, some people might say, well, he's doing it to help the embattled Republicans, the ones that are in very close races, etc. But from what I'm hearing, none of those Republicans are going to be at this event with Donald Trump. They're not there. I don't know if they weren't invited or if they declined, which is interesting. If they weren't invited, that means Donald Trump doesn't care about helping them win. Now, we know that's true because if Donald Trump actually cared about helping them win, he wouldn't do things like take the money out of the RNC to help fund his legal fees in his own campaign. He would leave money there to help down ballot races. He wouldn't do things like say, well, if you use my name or image or likeness or slogans in your campaigning, I deserve a cut of your fundraising. He wouldn't do things like that. But he doesn't care about down ballot Republicans. He's going to burn it down as he goes. So you got this event in Madison Square Garden. It's probably going to go horribly. It's going to be just more noise out of what he's doing. If he actually cared about winning this race, you would think he would be in one of the swing states. But he's not getting the crowds in the swing states. He's not getting the reactions in the swing states that Kamala Harris is getting. So he's going to go someplace that he knows he can draw at least a good-sized crowd and feed his ego. He's all but given up this race. And this is just the latest stunt from the Trump campaign to boost Donald Trump in some way. It's not going to work. With about 8 days to go to the election, he should be really doing more to win the race, but instead he's feeding his own ego. I guess what else can you expect coming from Donald Trump?